quit my job and we'll live here forever. Or at least we'll live here for now. Beautiful Mariana at a bar on Christmas Eve, with tears running down our faces. There's nowhere else we should be. It's a hard day's work to be mesmerized by clouds or an open country road. It's a hard day's work to see beauty when it's found in the broken people of the world. Share with me, Mariana, on a cold day in March.
Hunt for the right commission. Fugitive, criminal, suckers that don't listen. Whether you need support, enforcer, or recovery, step up, pay the bounty, we'll ratchet your luxury. Follow the clues, no sense in ducking me. To get my bottom line, you gotta be my guarantee. Hook crook, we working in transparency to make sure I don't handle the job incoherently. Best believe this is far from personal. I do what I do, but never ever been merciful. This deception is this is about you and things that you do, attention that you drew. Your POV of what you pursue, the caution that you ignore, and trouble you explore, just to make sure that we're on the same accord. This is about nothing more than my reward.
Big stakes, high risk, good pay, quick fix. Take the lumps and the licks. Despite the tricks, we in the mix.
Cowboy after the AWOL, all for one, none for y'all. Test your skills, try your luck. Miss the bounty, pass the buck. Cowboy after the AWOL, all for one, none for y'all. Test your skills, try your luck. Miss the bounty, pass the buck.
He said the job was a goal. The game been tripping for a while and it's lacking a soul. Time to bring it back alive while we travel the globe. Don't worry, hip-hop, we got it under control. Overlooking talent that's right up under your nose. Selling a dream, I want these labels exposed. We fresh on the trail as soon as they made bail. Low-key a misfit hit is sure to raise hell. Bullshit is afoot, you can tell by the smell. My Uzi weighs a ton, I will put it on the scale. We all want the smoke, the tale of all tales. Escaping your demise is like you trying to fail. It's been long enough, now we sick of your nonsense. Playing the game is the only thing we got in common. From the stage to the comics, we stay spitting knowledge. We living along, looking for the next target.
Cowboy after the AWOL. All for one, none for y'all. Test your skills, try your luck. Miss the bounty, pass the buck. Cowboy after the AWOL. All for one, none for y'all. Test your skills, try your luck. Miss the bounty, pass the buck.
News on the march. Unpoliced banks to ruin lives. Many devastated, few care. My country is very bumpy. It's bigger than a planet, smaller than a Humvee. It goes to sleep hungry, wakes up grumpy, breathes with the wicked, righteous and chunky. Friendly, idiotic, obscene to try to jump me. Straight-laced junkie, addicted to something. Cars, chronic, bets and bluffing. Bars, tonic, respect for nothing. City to city, casino to back room. It's gas fumes as the bills get passed due. Gets a grand view, white vans and tan dudes. Case in BP turns to attitude can do. And that glance, grab a grand and scram soon. Number one goal, leave the man in a bad mood. Pulls the same moves in the jam when he has to. Avoids offspring, Uncle Sam and bamboo. It goes power, women, powder, linen. A room full of heads as a DJ spinning. Goes power, women, powder, linen. Room full of heads as a DJ spinning. It goes big surprise, much as bigger than his eyes. Came to kill spies and thrill with thick thighs. Stares at the stinkies, pills for sick minds. In good health reveals a sick guy. Took a man's sight for giving him stink eye. In a gray coupe, a suit and pink tie. 6'6", he's kind of a big guy. A thief on the run who's living the big lie. Gets keys in the mail, trees to the sale. A heater, not a bleeder, and no reason to fail. But birds that come feeders got the peas on his tail. Use the cheese like skis and leave a cold trail. Don't fail in the ride in the coattails. Pirates love music and shit with no sales. News on the march. Rahm Emanuel's G8 Fuckfest moved to Obama's private island. Too bad, Rami. You'll have to be a dick about something else. It goes power, women, powder, linen. A room full of heads as a DJ spinning. Goes power, women, powder, linen. Room full of heads as a DJ spinning. It goes paper towel bus soaks me up like bounty. Next lane's restrained cage bus out the county. Passing taquerias, thrift stores and laundry. Clothes, mom and pops, hipsters and the hungry. Murals on the pink line outlast the fads. Rich white kids dress like high school grads. Dumbed down culture that no longer reads mad. Delegates bad, Medicaid sad. Marketed indifference and destroyed the album. Traded it for ringtones they deployed at random. Abercrombie Wolfman, vampires effeminate. Subway and iTunes sold y'all a president. Difference in between us, rocks never hesitate. Me and Ma bring it raw every time definite. Prefer debating peace, smoking green and Buff and Marley. Now they act dumb, roll drum and sip barley. Leave these two faces full of dents like Harvey. R.I.P. Santa Cruz, Jay Dilla and Chris Farley. News on the march. Chicago looking pretty good for the summer. Be careful, it's dangerous out there. It goes power, women, powder, linen. A room full of heads as a DJ spinning. Goes power, women, powder, linen. Room full of heads as a DJ spinning. It goes.
Everybody put your virtual hands together for the host of Laughing Liberally Milwaukee, Matthew Filipowicz.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Laughing Liberally Milwaukee's Delouse, the White House Inauguration Spectacular. I am your host, Matthew Filipowicz. We're so glad you're here. Obviously, you're watching this at your homes. I'm in front of a screen. This is obviously not a normal Laughing Liberally show. This is obviously not a normal stand-up comedy show, but we're so glad you're here. We're so glad to make it. I don't know if you've heard, but Donald Trump is gone! Who else has been drinking since 11 a.m. Central? I don't know about the rest of the rest of. I don't know about the rest of you. All right. I really haven't been drinking since 11 a.m. I've been drinking since 9 a.m. No, I don't know about the rest of you, but I have literally been on edge all day. For like the last 4 years. Like this whole day, especially today, I've been waiting for Donald Trump to sort of like jump out one more time. You know, like the killer at the end of a horror movie. You know, when that's just like America will be like, wow, he's out of office. Glad that's over. And then mega out of the blue. And then the Republic falls. And while Trump's been lying about election results and inciting violence and mob rules and insurrection, while that's obviously destructive and horrible to the country, I'm not going to lie, there was a small part of me that wanted to see Donald Trump dragged out of the Oval Office by Secret Service. It's fun to think about now about the things that Donald Trump can no longer do. Think about it. There's so much he can no longer do. He can no longer ride Air Force One. He can no longer kidnap immigrant children and put them in cages. Unless, of course, he does it on his own time. Then, you know, he still can do that. He can no longer tweet. He can no longer start a war. Unless it's a civil war. He probably can still do that, and he's probably going to try to do that again, maybe tomorrow. So what is he going to do now, though? What's Trump going to do now, other than, I don't know, try to avoid being prosecuted? Like, is he going to sell secrets other than to Putin? I mean, like, I know it's hard to remember all the horror stories we've heard about Donald Trump, but a few months ago, the New York Times reported that Donald Trump personally, just by himself, is over $421 million in debt, with a high amount to foreign sources. 421 million. Let me ask, to all that foreign debt he has, what happened to Make America Great Again, huh? What happened to Lend American, huh? I mean, you know, if he's going to be hundreds of millions of dollars in debt, at least he could be in debt to American oligarchs. I had a friend message me earlier today asking, how's your day going, Matt? And to which my honest reply was, well, there wasn't a violent insurrection, so pretty good, I guess. Yeah, it's a good day. To be fair, the insurrection at the Capitol, you know, it was, yeah, to be fair, let's be fair to the horrible traitors. To be fair to the traitors, it was diverse, right? You had Proud Boys alongside Boogaloo Boys, alongside QAnon. It was a whole spectrum of white supremacy. You have racists of all stripes putting aside their differences to, you know, destroy a republic. You know, it's inspiring. I watched the head racist's farewell speech today from the tarmac, and one of my favorite things he said was, "We will be back in some form." In some form? What the hell does that mean? What, are you going to come back as what, a ghost? What are you going to, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi? It's like, if you strike me down, I should become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Question: is your new form, Trump, is it going to be solid, liquid, or gas? I think we know the answer. It's Donald Trump. It's going to be gas. It's going to be totally gas. Just a big, stinky, horrible gas. At the end of the speech, he was talking to his sycophants on the tarmac. And right at the end, he actually said, "Have a good life." Like, have a good life? I mean, like, that's not something you say to your friends and supporters. That's something you say to your jilted lover. It's like, you cheated on me. Have a good life. The best part of his farewell speech, and again, his unbelievable. I gotta take a drink. His farewell speech. Oh my lord, so good. The best part of his farewell speech, and I'm not sure you saw this. It depends on what network you're watching on, because it wasn't on all of them. The best part was when he left. Some music was played, and it wasn't Hail the Chief. It wasn't America the Beautiful. It wasn't God Bless America. I promise I'm not making this up. Like all great presidents, Donald Trump left to a rousing chorus of YMCA. They played the YMCA as the president of the United States was saying his final farewell to the country. It was literally one of the most surreal things I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of surreal things. I've lived through the Donald Trump presidency. Let's move away from Trump for a bit, shall we? Let's talk about a really, really unreported story that happened here in Wisconsin this last month. It happened on the day after Christmas. Former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, which I always love saying that, former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, he lied about ordering a pizza. I'm not making this up. So if you don't know what happened, old Scotty boy, he was on Twitter, and here's the quote from Twitter. I'm reading this right now. "Great pizza tonight at San Giorgio Pizzeria. We have to support our local restaurants and small businesses." All right, all well and good, right? It's good to support good small businesses and all that. That's a good thing. It's laudable. Except Scott Walker included a photo of the pizza, and it looked kind of odd. So odd that people were like, that doesn't look normal. And so some people on Twitter looked, and it turned out it was cropped, and it was from a photo from when Scott Walker was at the pizza joint over a year ago. It was year-old pizza. And he tweeted. And a couple things. One, why the hell are you lying about ordering a pizza? I mean, like, other than you're a Republican and you have to lie constantly anyway, you're just used to it. But number two, and more importantly, what does it say about our great state of Wisconsin that even our corruption is cheese-based? Now we've survived. We get to now watch the spectacle of Republicans, a good amount of Republicans trying to pretend like the last 4 years didn't happen. They're like, oh, like Donald Trump? Who's this Donald Trump? I've never heard of this man. Like these monsters aren't the ones who enabled him all the way. Like in the last 4 years, Republicans literally could have removed Donald Trump any time over the last 4 years, but they didn't. And just because they didn't illegally overturn an election doesn't make Mitch McConnell or Mike Pence heroes, okay? They're still monsters. They're still friggin' monsters. It's so frightening how low our standards are now, right? I mean, like, some Democrats are like, oh, you didn't end democracy itself? Let's throw those Republicans a parade. Like the same people who want to pretend that George W. Bush isn't a war criminal. And look, I know he's a painter now, and I know he gives Michelle Obama candy. I know that, okay? But let's think of one thing. Remember, George W. Bush actually pulled off something that Donald Trump never could. George W. Bush actually succeeded in stealing an election. Trump didn't. Bush did. We need to watch about our selective memory coming forward. Otherwise, like in 2024, after Ben Crenshaw gets elected president on a strict legalizing bum fights ticket, right? We'll all be saying, boy, oh boy, do I miss Donald Trump. We're probably not going to be saying that. I don't think our numbers are going to be that bad. But so I know right now we have people watching from all over, other than Wisconsin. I know we have some in upstate New York. Upstate New York's in the house. Some in Nebraska. For those of you who don't know, Laughing Liberally Milwaukee, when we're not in a horrible, awful global pandemic, is a monthly live progressive political stand-up comedy show. The show actually began literally just weeks after Donald Trump was sworn into office in 2017, like right after he was inaugurated. We did our first monthly show. And I'm not saying that the state of Wisconsin flipped from red to blue because we started our shows. But I'm not saying it. What I'm really trying to say is you're welcome, Wisconsin, and you're welcome, nation. Globe. I've actually had more than a few people since November reach out to me and ask, Matt, you're a political comic. You're a political comedian. Now that Trump's gone, are you going to be okay? I mean, like, these are the same people who say things like, oh, Donald Trump sure makes your job easy, huh? No, he really doesn't. Ask any comedian, any satirist, he does not. Let's take a little minute. I'll wrap up here for myself. We'll go behind the scenes. So political comedians and satirists, what we do, here's our work process, right? We see something horrible, and then we go to the land of make-believe, the land of unicorns and rainbows, and we make up something to draw attention to the horrible thing that exists in real life. Donald Trump starts at the worst, right? He starts at 11. It's ridiculous. So here's an example. This literally happened a couple of years ago. I was writing a joke about Donald Trump, and I came up with a punchline, and the punchline was, what is Donald Trump going to do next? Is he going to deregulate asbestos? Literally, the next day, Donald Trump deregulated asbestos! Asbestos! Like, what's next? Rat poison? I was like, we have to deregulate the rat poison industry and make rat poison great again. So then we can get rat poison back in our children's lunches. Take that, Michelle Obama. By the way, that was my horrible Donald Trump impression, and I'm so glad I'm not going to have to do that anymore. I feel a weight has been lifted. A great weight has been lifted. So here's another example. Well, this is a lefty crowd. You're watching Laughing Liberally Milwaukee. So we all know how bad fracking is, right? Fracking is horrible. Fracking is awful. It's bad for the environment, right? So earlier this last year, the Trump administration decided to rebrand fracking. I don't know if you saw this. There's so much stuff constantly flowing at us from Trump. It kind of went unnoticed. Donald Trump rebranded fracking, and I'm not making this up. He rebranded fracked gas as Freedom Gas. An actual .gov website said the United States must spread freedom gas across the globe. What is the comedian supposed to do? What is the comedian supposed to do when your president makes your fart jokes for you? But he's not my president anymore, and he's not your president anymore. He's not any of our presidents anymore. My name is Matthew Filipowicz. We have an amazing show for you tonight. Are you ready for this comedian?
Let us in! Let us in! Let us in!
Uh-oh. Are we being Zoom bombed? What's going on here?
Let us in! Let us in! Let us in! Aha! Just like the walls of the U.S. Capitol, the Patriots have breached the mighty, mighty Laughing Liberally Milwaukee virtual show. Woo! USA! USA! Woo! Trump shall be president forever! Woo! USA!
Look, Joe Biden was literally sworn in earlier today. You've run out of time, man.
Out of time? Out of time? What about Valentine's Day, huh? You damn hippie, commie, heathen Muslim.
A heathen Muslim?
Yeah, that's what I said. When you're just like one of those that just want to blow up stuff, but don't even care about them hot 72 virgins in heaven. Weirdo.
Okay, so I take it you're a Trumper?
That's Uncle Trumper to you, buddy.
Okay, Uncle Trumper, what is this you're saying about Valentine's Day?
Oh, you haven't heard about the upcoming tornado of Cupids, huh?
A tornado of Cupids? No, that sounds kind of stupid.
Matthew, I ask you to refrain from using that word. A lot of my Cupid Anon allies are very sensitive to having their intelligence laughed at. Stupid shaming me, and I'll have to break out the finger wagging.
Finger wagging? I mean, finger wagging?
That's what I thought. You see, when the tornado of Cupid is unleashed, and all the demon, lizard, pedophile people who deliver pizzas and also part-time fraudulently count votes incorrectly, well, they will be swept up by these Cupids and taken away to Guantanamo Bay or some big giant spider island or something.
Big giant spider island? What is this? Isn't that a sci-fi movie of the week?
Probably. All you Hollywood Milwaukee types are all alike, making your low-budget giant bug movies and while eating your fancy Colby Jack cheeses. You know what? I think you're overdue for a good finger wagging. Wait. Wait.
All right. Let's not do something we're going to regret later. Okay. So I'm genuinely curious here. Who's this head Cupid who's giving all these secret messages from deep within the deep state?
Well, I'll tell you who. There's two of them, actually. It's Fraser and Cliff from Cheers.
What?
Well, think about it. I mean, they're both Trump supporters. Look it up. And, I mean, Fraser's super smart. I mean, I can hardly understand any of his jokes during his reality show.
You thought Frasier was a reality show?
Well, yeah, and he was also the Secretary of Mutant Affairs. So he's real deep state. Oh, and of course, Cliff's the mailman, and we all know they changed the election with their sneaky mail-in voting. Yeah, Cliff tried to warn us.
Uncle Trumper, none of that is true. Do you even know what reality is?
Oh, that's it. Here comes the finger wagging again. Shame on you for reality shaming me. We can make up our own reality. That's right. Shame. You know what? I'm so mad, you're going to get the dreaded finger wagging Tiskin combo. That's right. Here we go. Wag. Wag.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Please stop. Please.
Yeah, that's right. I changed it up on you. I'm scrappy like that. Just like all them Cupid Anon people. Yeah.
Wait, what is with the name Cupid Anon?
Well, we're like a subsection of the QAnon, so, because even though we're all heavily armed, like a Cupid with their crossbows and with explosive Rambo type tips, well, we also are full of love. Love for our fearless, beautiful leader, Mr. President Jesus Trump.
Mr. President Jesus Trump?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was certainly sent from God above to save us all from you sinful liberal snowflakes. I mean, just look at him. His thick, wavy, gorgeous blonde locks of hair, his radiant, healthy, orange, glowing skin, and those curves. Oh, and most of all, that ass that just won't quit. Oh, yeah, I just want to get up there and praise that juicy butt. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My sweet sugar daddy, President Jesus Trump.
Uncle Trumper, I think it's time for you. I think it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go.
Huh? Who? Me? USA!
Give it up for Uncle Trumper, everybody. He makes some valid points. All right. Are you ready for your next comedian of the night, everybody?
Yeah.
All right. Please put your virtual hands together for Kristin Lytie.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh man, I'm sorry about my uncle busting in earlier. That was awkward. I do thoroughly believe that Scott Walker cropped that pizza photo to try and show that he had friends. I think that was. We know you don't have any friends. Oh, 2020. I love how people like to say 2020, what a terrible year, as if, all our, racial injustice, economic inequity, like that had nothing to do with anything. It was just because 2020. No, we've been planting these oats for generations, and here they are. But one thing I will think 2024 is radicalizing my parents. Didn't see that coming. Well, pretty cool. It was, we had great conversations about, the cops should not murder people and politicians should acknowledge a deadly pandemic. Cool. Okay. So now I got a team. Next time we have an extended family event, which I'm excited about. Also, 2020 really let me lean into my old-timey anarchist vibe. I'm digging my white hair. I like that. So November to now, longest 2 months ever. Am I right? Matt was mentioning it earlier, and there it was. And yeah, Trump has more comebacks than Jason. Even November 7th was called as okay, but where's the body? He will come back. And I am a lover of horror movies, but I feel like 2020, it's just desensitized me to all horror movies now, It's just not as important. Like Nightmare on Elm Street, a classic I loved as a child. But now watching it, it's like, yeah, I guess being harassed by a burn victim is an inconvenience. And Pet Sematary and Gremlins, loved those movies. But yeah, I guess pet ownership isn't for everyone. Get over it. And then, of course, Psycho and Halloween. Well, weirdos with mom issues. That's just dating. Every dating app I've ever been on. So yeah, I am coming to you live from my new home. Oh my God. Thank you. I didn't realize the process to owning a home was so bizarre. If you are trying to get a home and multiple people are up for it, you're expected to write a letter to the owners to tell them about all the wonderful things you want to do in that home. Have a family, or I don't know what normal people do, but I'm an old spinster, so I don't know. I was gonna write a letter and say, I don't know, me and my cat want to do weird shit in your house, want to do that and be left alone. But one thing I did find out in applying for this house is someone in Green Bay has the same name as me, and they've done a bunch of felonies. Which then led me to the conversation of am I Tyler Durdening myself? One night I take out a lot of loans and don't pay them back and start fires. But yeah, so now when I eat over my sink, it's my sink, It feels luxurious. And actually, the other day I'm convinced this house is kind of trying to kill me, low-key. I fell down my stairs the other day. I fucked up my face. I have a big bruise. So if in the middle of my jokes I start telling you my grocery list or something, laugh politely, but call a doctor too. But so I was a child of the 80s. So I'm just convinced I'm going to die in a fire anyway, because when you were a little kid, your parents were just like, you can't leave your Easy Bake Oven in, it'll start a fire. You can't leave the light in the closet on, it'll start a fire. Can't leave a space heater on, start a fire, electric blankets, everything will kill you. And, I was talking to my mom the other day, and I was like, I had to turn off that light in the closet because I don't want a fire to start. And she was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you told me that, every day. And she said, I just didn't want you to leave things on. So I was like, could you parent with trauma, maybe? Like, I want to your own home. You know, I think that's the new American dream now. Just so yeah, I am in Green Bay, Wisconsin now after 10 years working around the country. I like being okay. So the one thing I'm grateful to Trump for is that he made me realize I wanted to go organize and work in more rural areas. So that's great. And I didn't think it changed who I am much, but I do notice like it comes up when I'm giving directions now. Like I'll say, oh, get to the bar or to the beach in Kiwani. Well, you're going to want to take 29 all the way till you hit the barn with opinions on abortion. You hit that barn, you're right there. The billboards up here are wild, though. There's a stretch by me, and they start out real fun and flirty, you know, with a "God loves you." You go, that's nice. And then they escalate real fucking quick into abortion kills, abortion stops the beating heart, abortion is murder. Don't have an abortion, you slut. And billboard in this row is all capital letters. It just says Jesus Christ. I'm like, no, right? So yeah, I'm in Green Bay. We gave quarantine a shot up here. I think it lasted until the end of March. Yeah, then the city collectively said, we will not be alone with our own thoughts anymore, and went to Also, over the summer, I was on a friend's porch because we do socially distanced hangs, and we could hear the Brown County Fair happening, and hear everyone just having a time, you know, just, we're gonna live forever, like. And you know, the thing I get, you know, people wanting to get out and feeling stressed out, but like, if you're gonna risk your life, don't do it for a fucking cover band, you know? Their tombstones are all just gonna say they fucking love Journey. I don't know. I will admit though, like I've kind of started to really like Zoom, you know, before when I would cry in meetings, it was really awkward. And now I turn that camera off and have some me time, you know? My favorite moment, though, I was entering this one, because I work for the teachers union, so I was entering it was a Zoom webinar put on by the legal team of the Wisconsin Association of School Boards, which I thought was just going to be like, you know, I see them, they don't see me. And I got on, I was in my pajamas, eating cereal, like, and it was a whole screen full of lawyers all staring at me. And I just did one of these, like, yeah, I do think it's wild though. Like in history books, it's gonna say they sang happy birthday while they wash their hands. Like, I'm gonna look legit crazy for so many reasons. I do wish whoever is Q, you know, would just come out and end it and call it, because these Karens got to get back to their multi-level marketing schemes, you know? Well, we've been invited to a pampered chef party in years, is what I'm saying. I'm always jealous of conspiracy theorists, though, just for their ability to believe the government can do anything effectively. Can't even like get fundraisers together, and you think we're like a satanic cabal of child eaters? That's not credit. I don't know. Yeah, it is funny. Like, speaking of conspiracy theories, like I actually started dating someone over quarantine who I like very much, and that was a weird segue. Let me explain that more. I always think, you know, when people talk about healthy relationships, it's very similar to like Bigfoot. You know, like I know it could exist, and I know people talk about it like all the time, but like I've never seen it. You know, so my therapist is very excited that I would be having to have emotional intimacy with someone via Zoom, but it doesn't mean I'll try to get weird on a Zoom call, But my boyfriend, we used to work together for a union like 10 years ago, and we reconnected on Twitter, of all places. Twitter known for bringing people together. So that was, and one of the first times we went to visit each other, my mom packed me this cooler full of cheese, and I was just like, what are you doing? Because he lives in Illinois, and it dawned on me. I was like, oh my God, this is like some kind of Wisconsin dowry. Want to sell me off. I completely lost track of my time. Where am I at?
Yeah, you got maybe a minute or so, minute or two.
Okay, cool. Because so I have my new house, and my neighbor up the street still has this Trump sign up, and I'm like, are you a terrorist or just lazy? I need to know, because and I realized this is a common concern coming up quite a bit. Like, people don't seem to understand the difference between terrorism and protesting. So I wanted to bring on, using a little of my time, a friend of mine. His name is Jeff FBI Worthy. Please give him a hand.
Woo!
And I just want to say, I know that the FBI has a long history of infiltrating and murdering leftist groups, and they aren't something to be made a hero out of, but let's just have fun for a minute, okay?
Woo!
I am Jeff FBI Worthy, and I'm here to tell you, you may be a terrorist. If you brought a pickup truck full of bombs to the Capitol, you might be a terrorist. Blue Lives Matter, but you killed a cop with a fire extinguisher, you might be a terrorist. If you think you can overturn an election with guns, you might be a terrorist. If you got maced for trespassing on federal property, but then told the media exactly what you did. If you found yourself on a no-fly list, you might be a terrorist. It was fun to watch. Okay. Thank you for letting me be silly, and I just want to say, let's get Ron Johnson the fuck out next year.
Woo! Give it up for Kristin Lytie, everybody.
Yeah.
Woo! Excellent stuff. Yeah. All right. So actually, we have something just in Kristin's set, something kind of odd happened. I got a message from none other than, and you're probably not going to believe this, I got a message from none other than former President Donald Trump. And he actually says he wants to come on and address you, the Laughing Liberally Milwaukee audience. And, normally I try not to give platforms to right-wing terrorists, but I think tonight, maybe give him one more shot. Everybody put your hands together to former President Donald Trump.
My fellow chumps, it is I, your faithful messiah, Donald J. Trump, and I am speaking to you today from my luxurious spider hole in Mar-a-Lago, Florida, on the only online platform that will still have me. Virtual comedy shows. And I'm here to speak to you about something I know is very, very near and dear to all of your hearts. My legacy. That's right, folks. Thanks to the lying, no good Democrats and their no good lying ways, my reign as your God Emperor has come to an end. I didn't want to believe it either, but according to the failing fake news media, it's apparently true. But fear not, my beloved citizens, for I leave behind a presidency that the epic poets will speak of for years to come. And if not the epic poets, then at least Sean Hannity will speak of it for at least 2 hours to an annoyed intern after he's had one too many apple juices. For when the history books are finally written, I have no doubt in my immense mind that I will go down in there as America's smartiest president. After all, and I don't want to brag, but I have won the board game version of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader like 3 times. It's super easy, folks. You just walk in and you look at the box and you go, yes, yes, I am. And then your butler brings you a piece of victory cheesecake. It's great. And in the years to come, they will also say that I was by far the bravest president in all of Christendom. After all, what other politician was brave enough to body shame people like Rosie O'Donnell whilst looking like this? The alcoholic stunt double of Jabba the Hutt. It's not great. Certainly not Sleepy Joe or Crooked Hillary or you ain't from around here now, are you, boy Obama? Okay. They will also say, and this one's for the ladies, that I was by far the thoughtfulest president this side of the Mississippi. Indeed, it was I who selflessly withheld information about a deadly plague ripping through our country just to protect your feelings. I didn't want to harsh your mellow, America. That's how much I care. So don't cry for me, loyal devotees, for I'm going to a better place, a much warmer place, a much more friendly place for your old friend Donnie. I am going to the secret volcano lair I've been building off the coast of Florida. Now, a lot of egghead liberal scientists wanted to tell me that I can't do it for such made-up reasons as there are no volcanoes off the coast of Florida. But I'll show them. I'll show all of them. Then, after 4 years of hiding, I will arise like my savior and personal inspiration, Oscar the Grouch, and take back this country for all of the garbage people. So go forth, America. Stand down, stand by, and donate to my GoFundMe page, www.gofundme.com/I am definitely not Donald Trump. Please give me money. Good night.
Give it up for former President Donald Trump, everybody. All right. I kind of miss him.
Not so fast, Matthew Filipowicz, if that is even your real name.
I mean, yeah, it is. But everybody, it's Bob Rock, one of the Accountants of Homeland Securities. Hi, Bob.
Nice try, Matt. But 2020 was all about you standing in my way to get all the juiciest parts around this dump. And 2021 is going to be different. You're not going to stand in my way anymore because of the color of my skin.
Bob, I told you this literally 15 times. You had blueberry pie in your beard.
So you admit that you're intolerant of bluish people. And that you pick Zach over me constantly just because he sounds exactly like the character that you're asking for.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you just saw his Trump impression. It's really, really funny.
Aha! So he gets special treatment.
No. It's just he does really good impressions. Trust me, Zach Zajac is a horrible human being.
Look, Matt, No one's doubting how horrible of a human being Zag Zajac is. And I'll give out his address later. But my point is that with this new administration coming in, it's time to get a more diverse crowd of impersonations. And that's why I'd like to premiere tonight for this audience my Joe Biden impression.
Oh, really? You have a Joe Biden impression? Oh, that's great. Yeah, Bob, let's hear it. I'd love to hear your Joe Biden impression. Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go. I'm Joe Biden, very important man. I live in Washington. Wear pants.
Bob, was that Christopher Walken?
Racist. You wouldn't have said that to me had I done a Joe Biden impression. All right, let's move on. My Mitch McConnell is going to blow your fucking mind.
Okay, now Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. Sure, let's hear it. Go ahead.
Well, my name is Mitch McConnell, and one thing that I love more than anything is hot fudge chocolate sundaes.
Bob, was that Jimmy Stewart?
Racist. Finally, with grace and dignity, I'd like to play AOC.
Hold on, Bob. Are you sure about this?
Believe me, Matt, I've drank enough whiskey.
Okay.
AOC. Hey there, I'm AOC, and I'm a very progressive politician from New York. Have you heard about me? Have you heard about me?
Bob, was that Jay Leno?
Look, I could make up some excuses. I'm not a great impersonator, but I will tell you one thing, Matt. I'm going to get the hell out of here.
All right. Bob Rock, everybody, give it up for him.
Happy birthday, Joe Biden.
All right. All right. Hope you're all having fun on the stream here right now. So for those of you who have never been, for those of you who are our normal Laughing Liberally audience who are joining us on the stream, thank you so much for being here. We miss you so much. We can't wait to be able to do this in person with you again soon. For those of you watching from other parts of the country, thanks for joining us tonight. We're so happy you're here. If you've never been to a Laughing Liberally Milwaukee show before, you may not know this. So a lot of comedy clubs, when they exist and when they're open around their country, don't actually want comedians to do political material. You realize that like 75 million people voted for fucking Donald Trump? So a lot of clubs are just really interested in selling Bud Light Lime, and so they're fine with racist material, sexist material, homophobic, transphobic material. All that's fine, but they really don't want politics. I mean, there's not all clubs, but some clubs don't want you to do that. And so for us as comedians, being able to do political comedy for people we know are going to be cool and down, and where we can talk about our experiences and talk about our truths, we really appreciate it. So again, we can't wait until we're able to do this in person again. But that being said, we're still just comedians, just after telling dumb jokes. There are people though in Milwaukee who are doing amazing activist work, like 365 days a year. And I know I joked about Laughing Liberally being responsible for flipping Wisconsin. That's not true at all. I will tell you, though, one group that is very, very responsible for flipping Wisconsin, and that is BLOC, which is Black Leaders Organizing for Communities. And so every episode of Laughing Liberally, we have a guest on, and we talk about the activism we're doing. I'm so excited that our guest here virtually on Inauguration Day is the one, the only, Angela Lang. Give it up for Angela Lang, everybody. Angela. So Seriously, Angela, thank you so much for the work you've done with BLOC. It's phenomenal. We beat Scott Walker several years ago, 2 years ago, thanks to BLOC's help. We've now turned the state away from Donald Trump, which is phenomenal. So really, straight up, before we get to even talking, just cheers. Really, hats off. Phenomenal work. Give it up, please.
Yeah. Thank you.
So for those who, BLOC's been covered by everywhere. They're covered by the New York Times. Every major thing is covered because they're badasses. But if people don't know, what is BLOC and what do you do?
Yeah, so BLOC launched in November of 2017 in a lot of ways as a response to the 2016 election. On one hand, the former president, I love saying that, his election was just devastating to everyone. But I think what really did it for me, I have a loud voice. I can't just like be quiet. What really did it for me was that people were blaming our community for the outcome of the election. And as frustrating as it was, we're some of the most least engaged and the most disenfranchised. And it felt very unfair to place that blame on us. And so some of us got in a room. We, had a bunch of butcher paper and markers and kind of sketched out, what does this look like? And, how do we make sure that what happened in 2016 doesn't happen again in 2020? Acknowledging that we wanted to test ourselves and our capacity for the midterms. And I think a big thing that makes us different from a lot of other organizations is that we are focused exclusively on the Black community. And we have a year-round program. A lot of times people, come in a couple weeks or a couple months before an election, try to knock doors and get you to vote for them. We want to actually build a culture of civic engagement. How are we talking about candidates? How are people actually informed of like what a U.S. senator does and how that's different from a state senator? What's the difference between city government and county government? So really taking that time to have that leadership development to really educate people on the political process and ideally hope to get more people involved along the way. And at some point, and I feel like I can say this now, we want to run our own slate of candidates. We want to be able to train so many people from the community. Our ambassadors are like, I'm thinking about running for office. So we're thinking about, what does that look like in the next couple of years, in the next couple of cycles, and how we're actually building long-term political power here in the state.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about this last election specifically. What were there any like odd experiences or like what was it like? Because obviously you were in COVID, right? There's a pandemic, and so it's not a
super normal election cycle. Super normal. Right. No, seriously, it was tough. I think for us, we're known for our field program. We knock doors all the time, even when there's not an election. And we started the year with 33 ambassadors for the February election, last February. And then, in March, we're like, all right, we're going to have 50 for the April election. And we put our folks through really like a lot of training. We put them through at least 30 hours of training before they even knocked doors. And by the time they got done with their training, we were like, and we have to shut down. So we had to find ways to convert our field program in a virtual space, getting all of our folks used to Zoom, when you're on mute, when you're not, don't take your phone.
All the comedians on this show that are members of the Accountants of Homeland Security should probably learn that too.
It's like, don't take your phone in the bathroom with your video on and you're, not muted. True story. So it was an adjustment to say the least. But also the nature of our conversations changed. It wasn't just, hey, don't forget to vote for this person. It was GOTV the last couple of days of the election. And we weren't leading with a candidate, which is so unreal for me in my experience. We were saying, hey, do you need to be connected to resources? We know rent was due a couple days ago. Do you need, help with anything? So even just doing wellness checks and letting people know that they're more than just their votes. They're not just like a commodity, and that we actually care about people more than their ability to vote too. So it was a challenge all around. A lot of the challenges and struggles that our community faced, a lot of our team members faced personally. And that's what happens when everyone organizes the same community that they're a part of. Those experiences that we're fighting for and those issues we're fighting for directly impact our team too on a daily basis. So we had to navigate some of those challenges. But overall, we are excited. 2021 did not start off good. I mean, 2021 basically said, hold my beer in the first week. But we're here now and we're really excited. Our team was kind of emotional on our check-in call today. So we're excited for what's ahead.
what specifically? I guess what is so this is you're based in Milwaukee. What are if you were to like take this national? What are like the maybe I can say 2 or 3 things that you might push forward to say this is how this should be done nationally to get people to increase engagement, to make sure people take part of this. Because I mean, there's again in Wisconsin we have plenty of challenges. Voter ID, we could go on a laundry list of all the things that make it hard for people to vote, specifically people of color to vote. But like, what are like the big things that could be maybe blown up onto like to other cities that they can take and learn from this?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. One of the things I feel like I keep seeing on Twitter, because that's my new favorite platform now, because I hate Facebook. But everyone is like, "We love Stacey Abrams," and then all of our organizer friends are like, "Hint, there's a Stacey Abrams in like every state. There's a new Georgia project, and Fair Elect. There's that in every state." So I always think about that there's a lot of great, amazing people that I've been connected to that are doing similar work, and we get a chance to talk about kind of the same things, our same like theory of change. In order to get people involved, you need to make sure that people are informed on the process. You can't just say, "Hey, vote for this person," and people have no reason or motive why. We try not to lead with candidates. We say, "Hey, do you know about this election? Do you know that, like Supreme Court, for example, do you know that they're 10-year terms?" Giving examples of why the Supreme Court affects you when you will never likely go in front of it. Doing a lot of that on doors is really important, and being able to take your time with it. And I think for us, what I tell people, sometimes we're having 3 separate conversations. We're trying to turn a non-voter into a voter, which is a big conversation in and of itself. We want people to feel confident about what they're voting on. They're not just blindly voting, but they understand the roles and responsibilities that office holds. And then third, ideally, we want people to vote for the candidates that we think are best for our communities. And so those 3 conversations can't happen in, say, October of a presidential year. So it's so important to have a year-round presence. And that is a big thing that myself and my colleagues really stress, is that if people want to donate, for example, if this is like some funder speak, if you want a good return on your investment, if you're going to donate money to me, don't give it to me like 4 days before an election. Give it to me now so we can continue to build and do that work for the long term, because it takes time. There's so many people, especially now, that are said, "You know what? My vote doesn't matter. Oh, it's so messy. It's so dysfunctional. I'm not even going to participate in the political process." Do you know how long it takes to persuade people that after they say that, and in this political process and the climate, that their vote and their voice actually does matter? That takes time. And so the biggest thing, I think, myself and colleagues and organizers across the country, is really knowing that it takes time and it's a slow build, and it can't be transactional. It needs to be a year-round basis, and people most directly impacted by some of these issues and challenges really need to be centered and at the heart of the work too.
Absolutely. We're almost out of time. So if people want to send you money, which they should, because BLOC has results here in Wisconsin, and specifically here in Milwaukee, where can people find out more and donate to BLOC?
Yeah, so we are on all the socials, not on the TikToks yet because I'm 31 and I don't know if we can handle that. But we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if people want to send us a message and whatnot. If people want to check out our website, we are at blockbyblock.org, BLOCBYBLOC.org. And we have 3 different ways people can donate. People want to donate to our more nonpartisan stuff, like our voter registration, even our toy drives. There's a link for that. Our partisan stuff, and then we're gearing up for our work to take out Ron Johnson, and so we have a PAC. So we are fundraising into the PAC for that as well, and we're gonna, kind of stack that war chest between now and his election. So all of that is on our website at blockbyblock.org.
Seriously, Angela, you deserve all the kudos. Your staff deserves all the kudos. Seriously, thank you so much for all the work you've done over the last 4 years. So cheers, and donate to BLOC, everybody. Give it up for Angela Lang, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Fun stuff. Excellent. So hope everybody's having a good time out there. So are you guys ready for your next comedian of the night?
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! We won't be censored. We will not be silenced.
Are we being Zoom bombed again? What's happening? What's going on?
Well,
Hello.
Yes, hello. I was just saying we will not be silenced.
Who are you?
I'm Steve with a PH. Steven.
Why are you dressed like a vampire?
Oh, silly liberal. Vampires are dressed like me because I am one of them. But not just any vampire. I am the alt-right Prince of Night. But you can call me Steven.
All right, Steven.
No, Steven with the PH, Steven.
Steven.
That's better. Steven.
Okay.
Yes.
Steven, so you're an alt-right vampire? What does that even mean?
Blah. Glad you asked. What does it mean to be an alt-right vampire? Does it mean you subvert the democratic process? Check. Does it mean you make things miserable for women, minorities, and the LGBTQIA plus community? Check. Does it mean you murder people by sucking their precious life force from their veins? No comment. Also check.
Okay.
Look, normally I would transform into a bat, fly to your studio, and have you invite me in. But with the COVID-19s, I'm here via the magic of the internet from my castle in Wolford, Transylvania County in North Carolina.
Okay. Get to the point. Why are you trying to ruin our show?
Well, because Donald Trump won in a landslide. A glorious bloodbath. Delicious, silky, deep red, salty blood. Oh man, I'm suddenly famished here. Blah.
Look. The counting's over. Your guy lost. He lost by 7,059,741 votes, actually.
Stop the lies, Matthew Filipowicz. All we need is 11,780 votes to overturn this sucker.
You need so much more than that. Even with Georgia, you still lost the election.
Oh, not true. Why do you think Trump filed over 60 lawsuits?
Why? Because he's stupid? I mean, they were all unsuccessful, judged to be without merit.
Oh, hogwash. What about the historic liberation of the Capitol building by our patriot brethren?
Do you mean the illegal occupation of a pillar of democracy and the subsequent deaths and murders that came as a result?
That was an unfortunate side effect.
Are you okay?
I just need a moment. Oh, God.
Are you crying?
No, I'm not crying. Shut up, you're crying.
All right, Prince of Night. Are you okay? Or
you're going to miss me when I'm gone.
No, all right, Prince of Night. What are you doing? Don't do that. Don't. No, don't do
Give me
that.
no choice, Matthew. There's no way forward for my kind.
I mean, don't think that way. Maybe the right can just, step back, be less horrible, try not to suck so much.
Oh, I see what you did there. You libs are the worst.
Oh, right, suck. I really didn't mean that at all. That was, but I'll take it, I guess.
Son of a! I am out of here. Trump 2024 2024 more years.
Give it up for the alt-right Prince of Night, everybody. Steven with the PH. All right, everybody, are you ready for your next comedian of the night?
Woo!
Put your virtual hands together for Ton Johnson.
Hey, Matt, I need that instrumental, man. That's fire. I've been dancing to that every time it came on. We got to talk about that. Shout out to the vampire that was just on. That was pretty cool. Did y'all see the Confederate flag in his coffin? How you gonna be undead and racist? Pick a struggle. I get it. Hey, but seriously though, hey, that vampire sucks blood, but he still got enough home training to ask before he enters the premises. What did say it again, Matt? I didn't get the what did Trump say? He said he's gonna be back.
I'm trying to remember the exact wording. Back in some form.
On dialysis? Where are you gonna be back? Yeah, I'll be back. That sounds like a threat. You a political candidate or herpes? I can't stand that boy. It's a pleasure to be here from my kitchen. This is pretty cool. I miss performing live, but Matt, you brought up something, man. The first Laughing Liberally show we had back in 2017 when you first won. I was on, at least I think I was on the first one. I was on one of the first ones, right? And I remember saying after he won, at the end, I was like, hey, it's not going to, it might not be that bad though. I mean, because the perspective, is a person of color that grew up in Wisconsin. I didn't think too many things could get too much worse, to be totally honest with you. And then I spent the entirety of Trump's presidency kind of just off to the side, like. I just wanted to admit that I was wrong. I'm sorry, Laughing Liberally. I was wrong. I didn't think that you could do that bad. Like it's like I damn near did vote for Kanye. To hell with it. I had my mask on a second ago. I know that I forgot that I'm on a liberal show. This triggers. I'm doing a show up north this weekend, and I'll make sure to wear this to trigger everybody. Because they hate masks. I love it. They think the mask and the coronavirus is like a liberal ploy, and I'm like, it's killing y'all, but you got to find the silver lining in these situations. Like, you got to find the silver lining in wearing the mask. Like, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I've always wanted to dress like a Mortal Kombat character on his day off. And this is just like, look at this. Like, it's, Sub-Zero fight. Like, I love it. Like, this is cool. And on top of that, too, you can get away with things you could never get away with, before this era. Or like before COVID, I could never walk into Target or Walmart with a mask covering half my face yelling, "Where the video games at?" And they actually show me where they are. Like, this has been really cool. This has been cool. Angela, I definitely appreciate the work that you're doing. I really hope y'all defeat Ron Johnson. Not only because he's Ron Johnson, but because Ron Johnson sounds a lot like Ton Johnson, and when people go looking for me, his SEO, his clicks are a little bit, they're a little bit better than mine. He makes it kind of hard to book me sometimes. You gotta have my number or be friends with me on Facebook, because people like Tom Johnson, and then I've been introduced at shows as Ron Johnson. Oh, it's messed up. Like, you know, when you get on stage and you're looking at the crowd of people and they're expecting Ron Johnson, like, have you ever seen an entire room full of people hate you? Like, it's pretty rough, man. But what are we doing here? It's we made it.
Woo!
Yeah, we're good now, man. It's you survived the worst 2-week notice I've ever seen. And that's saying something, because I've stolen from jobs that I've quit. Like, and you have to, like, all of you have, you're in your kitchen, you have a junk drawer and your resume's in it. Not a piece of paper, but pens from every place you done worked. Y'all steal too. Your whole resume is in that drawer. Yes, it is. Just because I can't see y'all doesn't mean you can lie. No, it's been crazy. I mean, I'm so excited for, you know, the Biden and Harris's you know, administration. I thought it was kind of funny. The first person they sacked was a Surgeon General. I mean, you know, like, yeah, he had a very untenable job, right? You know, it wasn't going to be a good situation for no matter who was Surgeon General with President Trump. Like, it wasn't. Like, you can't blame him, you know, for everything. But I just think it's kind of funny, like, you know, because I've said it a million times during the you know, I was excited for Kamala Harris to be in the White House because nobody gets things done like a black auntie.
Yeah.
Nobody. And as soon as the day one, she turned around. It was like, and where that dude that's supposed to be the Surgeon General? Is he here? Is he here right now? Me and Joe need to talk to him in the other room real quick. He got on Twitter. Like, I was watching the inauguration and I was checking Twitter to see if Trump got back on there yet. And because I'm not gonna lie, Trump was a horrible president. I'm not a fan of him as a human being, but I love his Twitter presence. Like, his Twitter is funnier than I will ever be as a comedian. I need that. I need Joe to get on Twitter too, because y'all, like, even though, you know, Trump was pretty bad, Joe ass is crazy too. And I can't wait to see what he's talking about from that POTUS account. It's gonna be great. I remember I was a friend was at the speech where he was like, "Yeah, the Republicans gonna put y'all back in chains." I was like, "Did he just say that?" I'm really about to vote for this dude. Shit, I've heard worse. Like, I can't wait. It's gonna be good. I can't wait for Kamala Harris to hit, because, you know, she's the tiebreaker vote. For the Senate. So, you know, that's great. I can't wait for her to hit, because, like I said, it's nothing like a black mama or black auntie. I can't wait for her to hit them when the Republicans get on bullshit. When she looks over the glasses like, y'all better stop it. It's gonna be great. That's all it's ever took my mama to do. I know it works. My mama sent me she gave me a picture of her looking over her glasses. It got me through college. But I'm glad Trump is out, man. That boy, he ran the country like Puff Daddy, didn't he? He ran the country like a record label. He got into rap beef. And you know, with everything that's been going on lately, because Trump was an international relations disaster. We know that. Everything you know, all the countries that he was clowning have been looking at us. Like, you ever seen that GIF online with Michael Jackson eating the popcorn, watching Thriller?
Yep.
That's how Iran was looking at us. It was like, what y'all doing over there? Y'all good? I think y'all ripe for regime change. Like, you know, they were looking at, like, it was our turn. Like, you know, growing up, you know, going to school, you read about all the, you know, the insurrections, the coups, all the different things like this, and they never happened. And, like, you know, I'm 33. You know, I'm an old millennial, I guess. You know, we didn't have, you know, we didn't learn about that stuff. Like, that stuff has never happened to us, and it was finally our turn. It was crazy, and he, you know, got everybody at each other's throats here. He got us in the beef with Iran, Korea, and I just like, I'm not trying to be in the president's rat beef. Like he remember he was going at Kim Jong-un, and Kim Jong-un is a gangster. Like I saw a picture of Kim Jong. He was with all his generals and he was standing in the middle like this. And I was like, that's a mixtape cover. They're gonna kill the shit out of us. Like, I don't want to go to war with them. He offered me a loophole though. He remember when, because Trump is a jerk, with how hard he made it to be transgender in the service. I was waiting for him to start a war. If they tried to draft me, I was gonna show up to the draft dressed like RuPaul. Y'all think I can't find no size 14 heels? You be amazed what you can get on Amazon.
Yes.
I ain't playing. I'm not going. And then this orange Cheeto head ass dude, the Space Force. You ain't got enough people on Earth. Enough people hate you here with gravity and shit. You want to go fight? What we gonna do? I'm glad he's gone. See here, what did he do? He did some gangster stuff his last couple of days, and he pardoned a bunch of people. And in those pardons, I got some friends that are like, man, that's kind of dope. What he did, for Lil Wayne and Kwame Kilpatrick and some other. And I was like, okay. Let's talk about this. This pardons are a perfect example of the failure of the Republican Party to connect with Black voters. They've been struggling for a while. I remember when Michael Steele, the former RNC chair, had the nerve to say, we're going to bring the GOP to the hood. I was like, y'all better stay the hell out of the inner city. But this is like, the pardons go to show you, like, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So you're gonna release Commute Kwame Kilpatrick, the guy who stole so much money from Black people in Detroit. Like, this is why Detroit is messed up. I got family in Detroit. They're hurting out there. And then Lil Wayne. Now here's my thing. Lil Wayne hasn't done necessarily anything bad to people per se, except for that rock album in 2009. He needed to, because he don't talk to us, because if he still had his mama, she would have been like, boy, like it. He did that, and he deserves to pay for it. But Lil Wayne hasn't done anything that bad, but he pardoned Lil Wayne, and some people need to go to jail. Lil Wayne has been struggling with addiction for years. He kind of looks like a gremlin that somebody just threw in a pool. Like, you remember when the gremlins threw him in the water and they turned, like he's been in the whole pool. Like he needed to eat, prison, because prison food is actually, the food pyramid. It's observed. He needs to get prison sleep and prison food. He needs that time away to detox. Some people got to go to jail. You know what he was in trouble for? He was facing 10 plus years because they arrested him with cocaine and a golden gun. What the hell was he about to go do? Some people gotta go to jail. Many of you don't know me in real life, but if you run into me and I have cocaine and a golden gun, you better stop me. Like, what was he about to go to? There's a lot going on. What else did we learn? Capitol security is weak as hell. What's a mess about that too? So in college, I was a political science major, and I interned in the Capitol twice. I interned for Herb Cole and John Lewis. Rest in peace to him. And that was really an affront to me, what happened. With these people storming the Capitol, because I had a name tag with my face on it. And I still almost got locked the hell up for being in the wrong part of the library in the basement. Because John Kerry was getting his haircut in the barbershop that's close to the library in the basement of the Capitol. I almost went to jail for a haircut. Federally. And these boys just walked in. That is the craziest thing to me. I love. I'll talk about this, but like, they just, I don't know. They need to scrub. They need to start over with that. All those guys except for the one dude who got promoted. All those guys got to go. I'm worried. I'm worried for Auntie Kamala and Joe. I need everybody with the protecting them. I need the Mexican, the Equalizer, the Mandalorian, and John Wick. Hell, I need all of them on the security team. I need, because them guys, they ain't good at it. I'm like, it was crazy when I was interning. If they found a suspicious package, the whole Capitol will shut down. Like one time, the whole Capitol shut down while I was interning for John Lewis because somebody left their lunchbox in Statuary Hall. It's like it's a suspicious package in the Statuary Hall, and then it came out that it was just somebody's lunch. And this is a true story. Right hand to the man above. We found out what was the lunch, and it was a sardine and mustard sandwich. So that's still suspicious to me. I think that shit is terrorism. You eat that, your breath. You a terrorist, in my opinion. You a terrorist. I'm serious. If security, the weak ass. If we had Capitol Police in the streets, it'd be okay to say all lives matter. I ain't even care if that one was funny. Serious, y'all. It's messed up. Really blows my mind was the reaction to it. People kept saying, this isn't us. This isn't our country. This isn't our democracy. These people aren't representative of us. These people don't represent us. Yeah. Angry white men have never committed treasonous acts because they felt an imagined threat to their livelihood. Some of them guys were even carrying the same flag as last time. And I kept hearing that bull on the news, like, this isn't us. This is not us. This is not how we act. I'm like, stop talking to me like I didn't go to school. I took civics. I know what that flag means. It was in the vampire's coffin. He must have got bit by Robert E. Lee. See, I went to school. It's just, people are like, I don't know these people. Where do they come from? I'm like, shit, I play Call of Duty with them mugs every day. They all over online, them militias. They play on the games. I'm serious. I joined because, at the height of the pandemic, I got back in the games and I joined the online clan. And it just so happened to be the clan. I'm dead serious. So I'm playing Call of Duty with this group of dudes, and one of them was a Proud Boy. Like I first heard about that back in June. I was real nervous around these cats, Montana, like a lot of mountain region dudes, and I was messing with them, and I was on the speaker talking to them sometimes, and they asked my name, and I was uncomfortable, so I gave them the whitest name that I could think of, which was Andy. I don't know, I've never met, I only know a few Andys, and I don't know any of their middle names, but I know it ain't Leroy. But I was playing with them, and I don't think they figured out that I was a black guy somehow. And so I was like, I'm gonna drop the bomb on these guys. I'm about to mess them up. Like, we're playing for a couple weeks, and I was like, I'm about to get these guys. I was like, hey, I just want to let y'all know something. Black lives matter. And I thought I had them. And then they were like, dude, your black guy impersonation is spot on. And I was like, to hell with it. Hey, listen, I'm gonna rush the objective. I need 3 people to flank from the left. Let's win this game. But people, where they come from, they've been here the whole time. But when it goes back to the Capitol security, I don't believe in conspiracy theories really, because like I said, I intern in those spaces. I've seen a lot of things that most people haven't seen. It's true. Like people think like the government has these security gates and stuff and revolving doors and all this, and there's panic rooms and stuff like that. But if you ever believe they really had advanced stuff, I'm sorry, they don't. You can see it in the Capitol's response. A bunch of crazy people broke in, and what did they do? They put furniture against the door and pulled out a gun. That's what I do when people come in my house. I feel like they should have more training than me. Like, that's the solution. The guy who got promoted, because he was the only one with sense enough. Because like if you're in uniform, people are going to assume that you are protecting an area that they need to go to, right, or that they want to get into. So all he did was walk down a hallway that don't go nowhere. Like they missed the Senate chamber, like they walked right past it. He was giving a tour. Did y'all see that dude? Like they rushed the door, and the officer, he was just like, come on. And I knew the part of the Capitol that they were in. That's why it was pretty funny. Like he took them to a bathroom. Like that's great. Like, hey, I know y'all out here tripping and committing sedition, but if you have to pee, it's here. They're not protesting. I will not allow anyone to call them protesters. They're terrorists.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Terrorists. We were worried about ISIS. We got vanilla ISIS here. That's dumb. I hope they arrest all of them. The guy had the nerve. And this is like, he's going to take a selfie in Nancy Pelosi's desk with no mask on. Like, how brazen do you have to be to break the law with a bare face? And this is like the best era ever in American history to commit crimes. Everyone has a mask on. You gonna take it off when you decide to break the law? What kind of shit is that? It makes no sense. You put your feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk. One of them walked into the Senate thing with zip ties. You saw that he had the zip ties. And he's trying to say that he wasn't there, for any physical contact, or he wasn't commit violence. So what was you there for? BDSM? This is just crazy. Like it just, that whole situation was a slap in the face because I've protested for Black Lives Matter and a lot of different things. And that was a slap in the face to all people of color who did that. Because if you don't believe there's white privilege, look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
A crazy white dude got busted in the Capitol with a Viking hat on, carrying a spear. I can't get in the bars on Water Street with a baseball hat on backwards and a churro. Some bull. Macaulay Culkin was better at defending his crib than the Capitol Police. It's harder to get in McGillicuddy's. I'm serious. I can't believe this. I think I'm about at the end of my time here. So I'm just gonna say one last dig at President Trump. I remember when Barack Obama won. It was a transformative moment. He's the first Black president, right? And I've got a nephew and I've got a niece, and I talk to them about their goals and different things a lot. I do, and when I was able to say to my nephew and niece, like for the first time, like and really mean it, when they're like, I don't know what I want to be. I'm like, hey, you could be the president, and I meant it. Like that was, and it was cool to be able to say that. Now I would say the same thing, but it's a tone switch. My nephew's a little older now. He's like, Uncle, I still don't know what I'll be. I'm like, shit, go be the president. Anybody can do it. Anyway, I'm Tom Johnson. I really appreciate y'all listening to me. Thanks for having me, man.
Give it up for Tom Johnson, everybody. Excellent stuff. So actually, when Tom was on, I actually got another message, and I was actually pretty surprised by this message. I was actually contacted by two gentlemen, and they wanted to address you, the Laughing Liberally audience, this evening. Let's see if we're bringing them on here. All right, there we are. So joining us here, we have
Agent Smits.
Agent Smith?
We're from the FBI.
Okay. Wow, like for real, not even like in Kristin's set. That's wild. Okay, so what are you doing here this evening?
We're looking for leads on rioters at the Capitol.
As we have reason to believe you leftists might have valuable information on several wanted individuals.
I mean, you're not thinking like Antifa was involved in riots, are you?
Of course not.
The very idea is laughable. Ha!
Huh.
Huh. Sorry for that outburst just now.
Yes, we're actually looking for snitches.
Oh, like the lesbian woman who was kicked out of her house and then turned in her entire family?
Precisely. We're hoping your viewers' white guilt and hatred of relatives will lead to more valuable information we can use.
Well, that makes sense, I guess. Is there a reason you're calling into us specifically in Wisconsin?
Yes. There is an individual we are looking for who was at the riots wearing a brewer's cap. He was last seen urinating in some potted plants inside the Capitol and may or may not have stolen Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's high heels.
Yes, we're hoping he is someone's weird racist uncle, and we're able to apprehend him before he does whatever he's planning to do with those shoes.
I, for one, am hoping she will be most grateful when we return them, if you know what I mean.
Okay, well, I hope we're able to help. Is there anyone else that you're looking for?
We also have footage of a man with a crossbow that's been fitted with a bayonet. We would like very much to get him as well. The crossbow was painted green and yellow, and he fired at least 3 arrows into portraits in the main hall.
Yes, he may be a drunk cousin to the listener here, or an argumentative neighbor, or even someone's creepy stalker.
We promise full anonymity to whoever turns him in. You can trust us. Our servers are a lot more secure than Parler was.
I certainly hope you get him and the others that you're looking for.
And don't stop at just the aforementioned suspects. You have a racist, gun-loving relative who mysteriously went out of town for a few days around the riots.
A masquerading coworker who took a couple of days off.
Or did the house down the street go dark and take down their Confederate flag?
We have some lineups we would like you to look at.
Okay, well, how should anyone with information come forward?
That's a good question. There's multiple ways to reach us.
You could just go into your Gmail account and type something that says, for example, Dear the FBI, please investigate my dad, Roger Williamson of Watawatasa, for stealing a letter opener from Representative Pelosi's desk, then smearing his own feces on the wall.
Is that a real lead you received?
We can either confirm or deny that.
Understandable. Well, where should they send the email after they write it?
No, it doesn't matter. We'll see the email either way.
We're also on Instagram, Snapchat, Grindr, and Bumble.
Is there anywhere you're not right now?
Parlor.
All right. Well, I wish you well in your search for justice.
Thank you, Matthew. And to all of you out there, we urge you to do your patriotic duty and snitch. Snitch as if you've never snitched before. The safety of our democracy depends on it.
Give it up for the FBI, everybody. All right, so we have one more comedian. You're ready for your final comedian of the night, everybody. Put your hands together for the wonderful Dina Nina Martinez.
Hello, everyone. Sorry. Thank you. I've been busy watching the news all day and checking for the oncoming storm on my weather app. And it looks like the oncoming storm is going to hit Florida and then skip over Georgia and then somehow hit Alabama. That was just because of a Sharpie. Man, what times we live in. This is so insane. One thing I have learned over the last 2 weeks is that I was very surprised about, by the way. I didn't realize that terrorism would have so much whining and crying. I'm like, domestic terrorism and international terrorists have a whole different way of doing things. Like international terrorists will just blow themselves up, and then domestic terrorists are like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm just trying to protect our country. Why did you put me on the no-fly list? Fudge. I do, you guys, I live with QAnoners. Don't envy me. I find it so insane. And my mom is borderline QAnon, but she's like a Texas Christian. Okay, like she's so she's QAnon. And I was talking to her and she's like, I got vaccinated. I'm like, oh my God, Mom, the government will be able to track you now. And she goes, I know. But I figured I was too old and it didn't matter anymore. And I was like, what? I am so like, I feel like I can actually breathe for the first time in, like, I feel so much lighter today just watching Joe Biden. Like, I feel like I'm going to cry out of love. I have that feeling of when you break up with an abusive ex and then he leaves the keys and gets out and leaves states away, you know? And then all of a sudden you meet your twin flame, you know? Somebody with empathy. Somebody who looks like they'll cuddle you afterwards, you know, like I'm so excited to have that cuddle. I just feel like Joe Biden is a big cuddle. And yeah, I kind of like that. Do you guys wonder if Trump is getting ready to flee to Russia? I do, because I heard that he ordered a bunch of 90s from Walmart, and just assume he's on the way there. I really hope they checked the silverware at the White House. Like, they're trifling. They're like my family in Texas, you know, like when they're leaving, they're going to take something, you know, like there's just no doubt about it. So, yeah. I am so excited to have a new administration, but I'm really ready for this freaking pandemic to be over. I don't know why I feel like I'm censoring myself. Freaking pandemic, like I don't know. I'm tired of doing online comedy. Like it's fucking insane, and I love it, but I also am like, I miss people. You know, I miss being able to spit on a mic and share that spittle with comics after. You know, like that's like a little bit of joy that is being crushed out of my soul. Like, I do feel like I'm at that stage in my pandemic where when I'm in public, like at the grocery store, every conversation I have is a meaningful conversation. So I was standing in line to go pay for my groceries, and this guy came to me. He's like, "Excuse me, can I get in there?" And I was like, "Yes." And then he said, "No, I just need to get in there and sanitize." And I was like, "Oh my God, stop pestering me. I will marry you. Like, I love you. Like, tell me, can I get in there and sanitize?" I'm like, "Yes, we're getting, like, I'm just gonna fuck you right here." And then the worst part is when I get to the cash register and they're always like, "Well, how are you?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm okay. One of my really good friends just got COVID and I'm really worried about her." And they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "I know. You may know her. Her name is Meredith Gray, Dr. Meredith Gray." And the lady's like, I don't care about your Grey's Anatomy fetish. Like, just leave me. Pay for your groceries and get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm like, okay, fine. I do feel like I'm so tired. This 4 years, this pandemic, I'm exhausted. Like, I'm fucking tired. All I want to do is like sit on the couch, get high, and watch Netflix, which is how I got kicked out of Costco. But that's a different story. Speaking of Costco, my mom got engaged at Costco. That's all. That was my story. I was talking to my mom last year. I go down to Texas once a year. On the way, the thing I missed this year, like I didn't go down, and I really missed, there's this billboard in Memphis on my way to Texas, and it says, Jesus, is he in you? And it never gets old. It never gets old. Because I yell at the billboard, if you have to ask. 8 years of doing that, and it's still not. My mom goes, we were having a conversation, and because she's Christian and I'm pagan, she doesn't know that. She's like, are you going to church? I was like, no, I'm going to have sex with Satan and sacrifice some virgins. You know, like that's. We were talking, and she goes, you know, George Soros sent those people to the border. And I'm like, Mom, what? What do you believe? She goes, that's why they're locking them up. She goes, if you don't want your children locked up, don't bring them here. And I was like, what is happening? She goes, I knew you were going to be a communist when you were in high school. You came to me and said you wanted to move to Russia because they got everything equal. Communism and socialism are the same thing, and they are not Christian. I was like, if you read the Bible, Jesus was the definition of socialist. Like, what? Just don't tell me about the Bible. I was like, I read it a few times, Mom. I was a minister. Anyway, I'm just ranting right now, you guys. That's pretty much all. Let me rant about this. I'm really excited that a new administration has begun because I will finally stop carb loading just to get out of bed. Like that's. I feel like I've been carb loading for the last 4 years just to get through the day. Like it's just, and now I'm starting a racism detox, I'm really excited about that. I heard that I can lose a lot of weight on racism detox. I'm getting old, you guys. I'm fat and I'm old and I'm sweaty. And I feel like the worst part about getting older is that like my face is melting into my neck. Like it's like a scarf. Like the worst scarf. It's like a Skinfinity scarf. Like it's like if a 90-year-old woman has never had vaginoplasty, but here. Like, that's what it's like. And my mom used to always say, if you stop moving, you're going to lose it. You're just going to end up not moving at all, not being able to move or walk. And I was like, oh my God, give me a hover round and put a burrito in a blender and let me beer bong that shit because that sounds amazing. I'm tired of walking. It's gotten that point. I'm crusty. Like everybody talks about crusty, but I did not crusty old, and I was like, I did not like what is like my ears are just crusty, like my arms are just like all the time, and then like don't even talk about down there. It's like if I pull my pants down, it's like cocaine just flaps out. It's like like frat boys live down there. It's just, I mean, I am a cougar, so I miss cocaine. Cocaine is like that ex that you never deleted friends on your Facebook. Like that's like every once in a while post a picture and you're like, oh my God, I missed you so much. I miss you so much. And then they post a picture of them and their girlfriend. And then you're like, oh, I fucking hate you. I remembered I didn't like you for a reason. I was out for 4 days playing Guitar Hero, chewing my teeth. Like there's like, I have no teeth anymore. These are all veneers. Like, it's just like, I miss cocaine though. It's been a good long run. We're done. I only deleted cocaine from my phone. Let me leave you with this. I am a woman who enjoys. I like giving blowjobs. I suck dick like I used to eat chicken. Loud, messy. And if there's not a little on my shirt when I'm done, it probably wasn't that good. But what I hate is when you're going down on a gentleman and he's like, yeah, baby, you suck that dick, you bitch, you whore. And I'm like, calling me names is not a good way to get me to do a better job. You know, like, you know, what I prefer in the future is that a gentleman that I'm going down on say something like, yeah, baby, you suck that dick like a strong, proud woman. Right? Or, baby, you suck that dick like Mother Teresa fed the homeless. In all honesty, most of it was charity. My favorite is, baby, you suck that dick like Kamala Harris. Both her eyeballs. All right? Thank you, guys.
Martinez, everybody. And also, give it up, please. Give it up for all the comedians that you've seen tonight. Give it up for Angela Lang and BLOC.
Yeah.
Please give it up for yourselves for joining us tonight. I know you could have watched like Tom Hanks or something, so thank you for being here instead of watching Tom Hanks. But seriously, yeah, exactly. Wrapping up here real quick. I want to thank you so much for being here. One of the things that personally got me through the last 4 years was the fact that halfway through Laughing Liberally's run here in Milwaukee, we beat Scott Walker. And just the energy of the show after that is like one of my best memories in the last couple of years. Just everyone was so giddy and happy. And like we defeated this horrible monster. And what's got me through the cycle, once Trump got elected, it's like, well, the party when we beat Donald Trump is going to be phenomenal. I am so excited for that. And then, of course, the pandemic happened. And so we didn't get it. So thank you for giving me this tonight and being here with us tonight, because this is a small substitute. We can't wait to see you in person again, hopefully in the summer. And even more so, I can't wait to see you 2 years from now when we beat Ron fucking Johnson, everybody. Everybody, so stay safe. We made it through Trump. We'll make it through the rest of COVID, and we'll make it through Ron Johnson. Stay safe. We love you. Good night.
Yes.
One more time.